This is the story of Abraham, the father of the great family. He and Sarah went from Ur to Haran and then on into a new land. When they came into the new land, Abraham went up on a hill at Shechem to pray, and God was there. He prayed to God at Bethel, and God was there. Then they pitched their tents in Hebron, and God was there too. God promised Abraham and Sarah that they would be the father and mother of a great family. The family would be as many as there are grains of sand in the desert, stars in the sky, and dust in the land. But Abraham and Sarah had no children. Then 3 strangers came out of the desert and told them that they would have a child. They laughed. The child was born, and they named him Isaac, which meant laughter. Isaac grew, and when he was a boy, God appeared to Abraham and said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him as a burnt offering upon the mountain." The next day, he cut the wood and took a donkey, 2 helpers, and his son, and they began to walk towards the mountain. On the 3rd day, they could see it. Abraham told his helpers to stay there with the donkey, and he and Isaac went on alone. Isaac carried the wood for the offering. Abraham carried a bowl of fire and a knife. Isaac said, "Here is the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham said, "God will provide." When they came to the place for the sacrifice, Abraham tied up Isaac. He picked up the knife and was about to kill him for the sacrifice when an angel came and said, "No, you do not need to do this." Then Abraham looked, and there was a ram caught in the bushes. God provided the ram for the sacrifice. Abraham untied Isaac and they went down the mountain. The angel called to him again and said, "God says, I will make you the father of a great family, as many of the grains of sand in the desert and the stars in the sky, and I will make of you a great blessing because you obeyed me." Then Sarah, Abraham's beloved wife, died, and he buried her in a cave at the end of the field near the oaks of Mamre. After Abraham helped find a wife for Isaac, he died and was buried in the cave beside Sarah. Isaac and his wife Rebekah had twins, Esau and Jacob, so the great family grew. Now I wonder what part of this story you liked best. I wonder what part of the story was the most important. I wonder what part of the story was about you, or what part you were in. I wonder if we could leave any part of the story out and still have all of the story that we need. Here is the cave. where Abraham and Sarah were buried. Here is the ram for the burnt offering. Here is the rope to tie up Isaac. Here is the knife for the sacrifice. Here is the bowl of fire for the offering. Here is the wood for the fire. Here are the 3 strangers who told Abraham and Sarah they would have a child. Here is the dust in the land, the stars in the sky, and the grains of sand in the desert. Here is Hebron, Bethel, and Shechem. God was at each of these places with Abraham.